What's up, everybody? It's Jeffrey Lyles, welcoming you to another edition of Lyles Movie Files. Joining me, as always, is the little brother Jayce. How you doing, bro? Shot.
What's good? I
So,
see. I'm matching bison for bison, so we're good.
all right, so let's jump right into it. This Friday, Black Panther: Wakanda Forever comes out in theaters. You and I have been of the very strong mindset that Marvel Studios should have recast T'Challa in the wake of Chadwick Boseman's tragic death, because the future that he had, even beyond the Marvel Cinematic Universe, was so bright. I could just see two or three Oscars, or him being passed over two or three times for Oscars before 30 years from now. Oh yeah, here you go. Here's your
Here's
Oscar.
an honorary degree because we should have given you 3 or 4 movies ago.
Yeah, it's pain. So yes, and people just right now, this moment. Hey, have you seen Black Panther? If only I had a movie review site where I posted my movie reviews where people could see my thoughts on Black Panther Wakanda Forever.
That's where you can go to LowsMovieFile.com.
Bing! All right. So I have seen said movie. Spoiler, not spoiler of any plot points or anything for people who don't want to go see the site, but I enjoyed the movie. Right now, it is sitting at a good but not great 86% on Rotten Tomatoes. So that means it has 141 fresh to 23 rotten reviews. I kind of feel like some of these rotten reviews are like, yeah, I'm gonna be different. I'm gonna say I don't like it just because. Check me out. Um, there's no denying that this movie feels the loss of Chadwick Boseman, and there's definitely parts where it's like, oh man, I can only imagine how much better this movie would be if Chadwick was here. I feel like that is especially noticeable come the final act, where it's like, this is pretty good, but and I'm just gonna go over my real quick, small issues with the movie. It's no spoilers as usual. I mean, if you've seen trailer one, you know the stuff. Phase four of the Marvel Cinematic Universe has been used in a lot of ways to introduce more members of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. So it started basically with Black Widow. Hey, here's her sister, here's her father,
Yeah.
and we're going to see them later. So stay tuned and hopefully fall in love and love these characters.
Mhm.
Shang-Chi, hey, here's Mandarin back. And here's Shang-Chi's sister. She's going to be a really important character going forward. Eternals, well, let's not act like Eternals existed. The Thor Love and Thunder was, hey, we've got a little spin-off kid. You know you want it. You want it, don't you? You want it. And then definitely, maybe even more so on the TV, the Disney Plus front, where every show was basically, here's a new character we're going to bring into the movies. So WandaVision, we saw Monica Rambo, Falcon and Winter Soldier. And here's a U.S. agent.
Mhm.
Um,
And
Loki,
Falcon.
huh?
And Falcon.
Falcon's already been there. Don't count him. He just gets he gets a costume upgrade.
I'm
So,
not talking that Falcon. I'm
oh,
talking.
that Falcon. You're right. Right. It's like other Falcon who we
Yeah.
don't know yet. I mean, who the grand populace doesn't know because it hasn't been seen yet. But yeah, if you're a comic book reader, he's definitely, hey, he's gonna be here.
Yeah.
Um, and then Loki, we got woman
So
Loki, and we got the man or he who remains leading the way to the big bad of phase this multiverse saga. Then we got, let's see, did I miss something? Hawkeye. We got Hawkeye.
replacement.
And we got, let's see, She-Hulk. Hey, here's She-Hulk. Miss Marvel. Hey,
Replacement.
here's Miss
Miss
Marvel.
Marvel. Not replacement, but
Yeah, I don't know. She's a sidekick replacement. I don't know. So a lot of new characters have been introduced, kind of to I want to say a
detriment.
detriment, because I
No, it
felt
is.
like,
It's a
yeah,
detriment. Like you can't. Don't sugarcoat it. It's a detriment. It was if you put one new character, maybe 3 new characters throughout this whole saga, it would be fun. But it's like it very much feels like a CW verse. show trying to introduce that new spinoff that they really want to happen in season 8 of Arrow. It's like, hey, do you care about that regular guy? Nah, we're gonna go. We're trying to get about this Canary show. Like, oh, we're gonna. Don't you want to care about this new Hawkeye show that doesn't have Clint? It was like, it was an overload. Like, hey, all your favorites are going away, and it's very much not like comic books where people never age. It's in real world, you have to age them out. But it's everybody getting aged out at the exact same time, not like, hey, you keep Thor around, but you got Thor's kid. You have new Asgard, so we got Heimdall's replacement. You got so many just like, dang, I mean, are you telling me basically I need to stop watching Marvel shows because I've now been aged out? So let my kids watch it and I'm done. Like,
yeah, congratulations, you've officially aged out of the MCU. And yeah, so Moon Knight, we have what's her name, Scarab, get her introduced as well. And yeah, so we got her. The Ant-Man Quantum Mania clearly is showing his daughter as somebody who grows big and maybe small. So that's a real unique power set. I think it's kind of weird because it's like, yeah, I'm not quite ready to say goodbye to the people I like. You guys are trying to push them exit stage left, and I'm like, well, we could still do more stuff with them. It's okay. You don't have to move them. It's all right.
but I mean, from a business standpoint, it's almost like Robert Downey Jr. got all the money, deserved it. But I mean, almost like kind of like, I don't want to say like a Vince McMahon thing, kind of like, I don't want to create too many stars because I got to pay stars. But it's almost like, yeah, if I keep these, like I can keep like one Brie Larson in here because she's money, but I can't have too many more Brie Larsons.
Yeah, I
So
need
I
one
need to
Roman
kind of,
Reign, and that's about it.
yeah, I can keep Scott Lang, but I can't keep too many more. So I got Tom Holland, but that's about it.
Yeah. So I felt that was definitely something in this one because it's like, hey, we got this Ironheart TV show coming, and guess who's in Wakanda Forever? And I'm like, well, she's clearly influenced by Iron Man. Why is she here in Wakanda Forever? And in fairness to Wakanda Forever, they make it make sense, and it's like, okay, but we still don't get the acknowledgement of any Iron Man link, which I thought's like, what are we doing here?
Okay, see, I'm trying to not because it's like I'm going with the end of Black Panther 1, where it's like, hey, we got an outreach center. You can't. I'm not. Nope. Oh, it's not even going with the tie in there.
I'm sorry, I was just an involuntary reflex. I was thinking of something. Yes. Um, I think you raise a really great point there, but it's just kind of this, let's flood the MCU with all these characters inspired based on characters you like before. I think there's plenty of Marvel characters like Moon Knight who you could introduce Shang-Chi. You can introduce without stepping on the other characters that echo other people.
Right.
So,
And you can get, I mean, like
Hawkeye,
the West Coast Avengers, like you got Wonder Man, like he's still
yeah,
around. Like, I mean, you got how many of those other, like you have Hercules,
Hercules.
like you have plenty of other MCU characters you can not, like you said, aren't the junior step ups. It's like, no, you can just like kind of move them around and say they'll come around when it's necessary, kind of almost like Thor comes around when it's needed. But you don't have to get rid of everybody.
Yeah. Yeah. So you did mention Wonder Man, and because we were busy and I was tired, we didn't get a chance to talk about this. But we do have a Wonder Man cast for the Disney Plus Wonder Man show. And it's a really interesting selection. And out was kind of what I wasn't expecting. And I'm sure this is going to lead to outrage from those guys. But Yaya, I mean, I don't want to butcher his name. I'm trying to get it. And of course, because I'm trying to find it, it means I cannot in any way, state or shape or form. Hold on real fast.
You're talking about the guy from Aquaman?
Candyman, Black Manta. I'm just trying not to butcher his name. let's go here. Of course. Good gosh. You know, you know, Bing's the worst search engine. I just want to put that out there on record.
You still, I'm surprised that's still actually activated on your computer. I'm actually judging
It's
a
just
little
my
bit.
default, and it's
You really,
terrible.
I judge you for that. Actually,
All
never
right.
mind.
Yahya Abdul Mateen II. So
Okay.
Wonder Man's a character who's very interesting in the comic books. I feel like maybe the window for his character, maybe kind of sort of passed because you don't have the Iron Man connection. And I know we talk so often about, oh man, we can move on, but maybe they tie him into Hank Pym. Maybe I don't know because
I was
there's
gonna.
not a lot of billionaires floating around in the MCU at this point.
I mean that like if you watched what is it, Earth's Mightiest Avenger, that was a great intro for
Earth's
Wonder
Mightiest
Man.
Heroes. Man,
I mean,
see
yeah,
that show that could have just been a blueprint for so much stuff.
I mean that's kind of like a special right before you want to get to uh I mean I know you want to introduce new characters that aren't just you know you want to get somebody who's aren't replacements, but it's like that would have been somebody like a bridge character, like hey, he's somebody you could use on say what is the name of that movie?
Avengers Civil War.
Thunderbolts.
No, I mean you don't even have to put him on Thunderbolts. He could literally have just been part of your new Avengers squad because he's got the bona fides. He's been an Avenger for a long time. He's got ties to Scarlet Witch, got ties to Vision. I just felt like, man, you guys have missed that window, the ideal window. You don't have to do anything with them. You could have just set him up and then not pay it off till now. And now having him show up as a hero would be like, oh shoot, or he's coming. I'm here to join the Avengers. Psych.
Yeah,
But yeah,
you,
I don't know.
you got Ebony Knight for that Miss Window too.
Oh yeah,
So
we got Black Knight. I totally forgot about him in Eternals. So yeah, we do have characters in Eternals that
and
matter
and a potential Blade movie that sadly is going nowhere. It seems.
nowhere. So lots of stuff. In Wakanda Forever, we have that same. Hey, we're continuing to expand our cinematic universe. I felt like that wasn't necessary in this one. I thought the overall story was really great. They make sense of how they include Ironheart, but she could have maybe didn't need to be there and it have been just fine all the same.
Mm-hmm.
I thought how they did Namor was excellent. Want to see more of him. I just really love the whole conflict with Wakanda and not Atlantis because they're not based in the magical realm of Atlantis in this movie. I just thought they did some really cool stuff, and it's a good movie. And kind of interested that there's a decent amount of critics that don't like it.
I mean, it's better. I mean, 20. I mean, was it 100 to 20? That's
141 to 20. What did I say?
yeah. That's, I mean,
141 to 23.
that's an acceptable. That's an acceptable percentage. I mean, like,
You down with that
especially,
ratio?
I mean, especially because there is the amount. It's like there is probably some critics. It's like this is just going to be better with Chadwick, and whatever you're putting that kind of it's losing like let's say out of a 5-star rating, you're knocking it down at least 1 to 2 because it doesn't have Chadwick, and you're like that's just what it is. I'm not giving it, and straight up, I'm not giving it a fair shake because I think y'all made a wrong call.
Yeah. I really wish they had just recast T'Challa. I mean, Thunderbolt Ross is not as important as T'Challa Black Panther, but Marvel was like, yeah, let's recast William Hurt with Harrison Ford. That makes perfect sense. I'm like,
See,
uh, mm.
the weirdest thing about that is Wonder Man would have made an ideal Black Panther. It was like if you want a dude who looks like, yeah, like bring it. I mean, that dude. I mean, like if you were almost to take from the comic book to put this dude as Black Panther, I'm like, yes, that. I mean, yeah. I have.
It was a decision.
It is on record. I think they should recast. Like just
yeah, you're absolutely not the only one of the two people here that said
I mean, yeah, because like I like the fact you are replacing characters that have more story. It just doesn't make sense to. It's like it is unfortunate. I don't want to go in there. we've covered that ground.
Yeah.
I think I disagree with the call.
Yeah. Now, speaking of Harrison Ford, there is going to be an Indiana Jones show on Disney Plus. Thoughts? No information, no details have been provided. Just we're getting a show of Indiana Jones.
Oh, okay. So Shia LaBeouf is going to be starring?
No, absolutely not. Unless Olivia Wilde is directing.
Oh gosh. Ooh. Yeah. I think I think that's a cool show. I'm always one of those people. I like Indiana Jones. I like National Treasures. I like little hunts for. I like the treasure hunt shows. I mean movies. So you can do it, but I thought was it Kathleen Kennedy said she wasn't going to replace any more iconic characters in Star Wars, which is owned by Lucasfilm, I think.
I don't know.
Indiana Jones.
I'm not loving this idea. And the reason is because there's not other characters. There's few characters. I always thought that the 007 James Bond franchise made the right call. Constantly switch up who Bond is. And even if you have a favorite, you can't go, well, this guy is the one and only Bond. I mean, there have been several who have been good. You can say this actor was the best, but you can't say he's irreplaceable. And I feel like Rocky, Rambo, Indiana Jones, Luke Skywalker. We can't replace Luke Skywalker, the heroic Jedi Knight, with a nephew killing guy. You can't do that.
Jeff, that can't slide it in. Okay, the easiest thing is 80s action heroes can't be replaced. I mean, it's just they're iconic. You can't like this. It's easy enough to say, hey, we'll go to a new property and come up with a very similar idea, and you'd be like, hey, this reminds me of Indiana Jones, but it isn't. And the funny thing is, we will actually let you get away with that because we appreciate you not using Indiana Jones. We'll let you. Hey, you can have him go against Nazis. He's got a whip and a hat. As long as you don't call him Indiana Jones, we'll be like,
nah, I don't know. I mean, because they've already done the Young Adventures of Indiana Jones. It's like, what are we doing? I don't know. And I love those movies. I don't feel like they're like Indiana Jones is a TV character that we need to water down his adventures by having him in an hour episode. Like that's MacGyver territory. You can switch out, give us a new MacGyver. That's fine. You can give us a new Magnum PI. I don't care. You can do a new Quantum Leap, but I don't need to see a cool Indiana Jones epic boiled down to 44 minutes or 36 minutes on Disney Plus.
Well, okay, let's say it's like if you did like 10 episodes, like you say, it's 10 episodes, it's basically going to be like 2.5 Indiana Jones movies. Can we get you to say yes?
Not without Harrison Ford. I mean, unless you just put him through the de-aging ray like you do his buddy Mark Hamill. So we have a young Harrison Ford, Indiana Jones, and it's just CGI. We know CGI. They fix the voice. I don't care. You do that, I'll watch it.
The funny thing is, like, half the stunts of, like, again, this is why I would say, like, the thing that made most 80s action heroes besides Sylvester Stallone and Arnold Schwarzenegger is because they weren't perfect, but they did stuff bumbling kind of, but they, win in the end. I don't want to see Harrison Ford trying to get onto the Rock and then break his hip. Like, it takes him out for like 6 months or something,
I've already given you my solution. CGI, young Harrison Ford.
I mean, again, do you want to see what was it, Crystal Geyser, whatever the heck is that? Where he was not, I don't want to see that.
Crystal Skull, no, yeah, I'm good.
Do I want to see it? I'm probably going to go in the category of no, because it's like, it's iconic. Let's go to Sundowner. I think it's fun. It's a fun idea, but no,
not for you.
Nah.
All right. So Sylvester Stallone, since you mentioned him, and we both kind of mentioned him, is saying that he's got one more Rambo in the tank, and it's going to be a passing of the torch.
No.
I
thought you were about to talk about King of Tulsa. I'm like, King of Tulsa looks kind of cool. I'm gonna watch that. But you say another Rambo passing the torch, like, who's crazy? What is he gonna have? Like, I don't want to say like disaffect. Iraq war veteran, kind of like, is he gonna like? I don't think this gonna work.
Nah, that would, you know, because we've got shows like that. We've got Jack Ryan, basically. We've got stuff like that. Sylvester
Feature.
Stallone can play Rambo as long as he wants to because he still looks like he could beat me down, and he's got that credibility. So I'll keep watching, however many, especially since that last Rambo was really good, and I thought they did a nice job with his character and how he did stuff. It was like, hey, he didn't have to run all over. He's just tactfully taking out people.
He's like Solid Snake. I mean,
Yeah, just doing his thing. All
yeah.
right, so we've got a John Wick spinoff, Ballerina, coming, and Keanu Reeves and Ian McShane have been confirmed to return for this. I'm always of the opinion more John Wick the better. What's your thoughts?
Uh, funny thing is, I was really about to, I mean, I can't even say I'm hating. I don't know anything about it. I mean, so it's like, but the one, I mean, there's cool things because that Continental, there's a whole universe. I mean, it's like,
Yeah.
if you wanted to talk about a series you could mine, it's like you got a bunch of, what was it? Like homeless folks that are assassins in New York. I'm sorry, that just sounds like a cool show. It's like, how do you run? I mean, Lawrence Fishburne running the homeless assassin guild. Like, there's like so much field, like mine of the John Wick franchise. You're like, how much can we get out of it? And you're like, a whole lot.
Hey, we can give Ruby Rose a TV gig again.
Ooh, that ship. There's that ship. Oh, it's sailing. Oh no.
Speaking of sailing ships, so CW's canceled Stargirl, as we know. This current season, season 3, which has been pretty good. I'm behind an episode, but it's been really good. I think Stargirl has always been consistent. It's never had that, yeah, it's the whack season you need to watch, like some of the other ones. And I feel bad for the crew. They knew going in this is gonna be this, there was a potential. This could be the last season. So they wrote an ending like it. I'm still frustrated because they've done this setup with Infinity Inc. They teased it. And short of HBO Max picking it up and doing an Infinity Inc. spinoff, I feel like, oh man, y'all are just teasing me with something I want to see, but you're not going to deliver.
You have to. I mean, everybody when what is it? Next Star when they started cutting shows and Next Star bought them, it was like, all right, everybody should just start. I mean, it's like when I'm sorry, no, when Jesse Martin said, "I'm putting my resume out there," I knew the whole CW. I knew the arrow was going. But when Joe West is saying, "I'm out," I'm going on a pilot to NBC for a pilot. Nah, you can write this whole show, this whole series. Everybody get your resume on. Grant Gustin's gonna be in like 2 episodes. Like, nah, I don't buy this. So I was like,
oh man, so he's going to be on 2 less than he was last season. Wow, okay.
Hey, Iris will be on 1 episode, and they'll just mention her. Like, hey, what happened to your wife?
Hey, listen, any episode with Iris is better.
Hey, honestly, I'm just ready for more Candace Patton scorching them. That's also half my fun.
Yeah, maybe we could get a director's or an actor's commentary with her. She's watching episodes. I would pay real money for that.
Oh, I'd be like, Candace, can we get you on your podcast? You can just film it whenever, and we will just make that happen.
Like, you just literally sit in a chair. We don't need a fancy set. Just like,
yeah,
here's what I thought about this joint.
Yeah.
All right.
See, this is when they didn't call me for this episode, and would have made so much more sense since I'm supposed to be like Barry's wife, whatever.
But facts. All right. I've been watching Saw, and the Halloween kind of like, all right, dude, what horror movie franchise in your collection you're gonna watch? And so I watched Happy Death Day, watch Happy Death Day 2. It's my birthday. Love it.
Oh, sorry.
But I needed a little bit more violence and gore and like actual blood as opposed to tease. So I decided, let's go to Saw. And for whatever reason, my Blu-ray of Saw, the first one, didn't work, and which sent me down this path of, hey, which streaming service has Saw playing? It's a mess. The worst thing that happened was everybody and their Uncle Luke deciding, let's set up our own streaming service because we're taking everything away from Netflix and we're going to create our own little rinky-dink streaming service that has 15 movies that you're going to pay $5.99 for a month. No. Okay. So anyway.
And Saw used to be on Netflix.
Yeah, it does. Like if you do a Google search, if you go, not Bing, Google search, and if you go, hey, what is Saw streaming on? It'll still show Netflix. And then you go to Netflix and go, sorry, it's not playing in your region. Thanks, wasted my time. But the
Saw 3
first,
is playing though.
yeah, thanks. This is helpful. So over the course of this last week or so, I've watched the first five and Saw the first chapter. It's great. I mean, it is so whoa, what a twist. And I remember the twist more than the movie and everything else that goes into it. And it's like, man, this is so layered. There's so much stuff to it. It's not just this twist at the end. And it's really cool. And I was like, all right, let's go. Let's keep it rolling. Saw 2. And Saw 2 has like this great ending where it's like just Donnie Wahlberg going off. You oh man,
Oh, that's right.
it's
I
so
totally
good.
remember that.
Oh good.
That was very much like one of those. They made that movie knowing they were making part two. It was not. It was like almost like I wrote part 1 and 2 at the same time. I just cut the movie. Like that was. I remember that.
Yeah. So Saw 2's end is great. Then Saw 3, it's like everybody sat down. Here's our trilogy of a horror movie. And it's not just about, killing people. It's like some of the directing is a little bit spastic, and it's like it needs to come with that seizure warning because the directing is a little shaky for every how do I get out of this death trap? A lot of that. But what's really cool is how Jigsaw is making them work. And if they just stop panicking and doing what they normally do, they'll survive, but they never do it. And it feels like that trick should get old, but it never does. And it's still really entertaining for the first 3 movies.
I was gonna say because it's like it. I mean, it's like if you were because you've watched the movies, oh, you understand. But it's like if you were really popped into the Jigsaw's world, it's like okay, since you like to do this with your life, here's how you get out. And I'm telling you how to get out. If you do this, you'll get out. No problem.
Yeah.
Like, but I know you won't.
I like to play a game. So it's real like the first 3 are such a tightly connected, layered trilogy. And it's like, man, you guys really, it could have been the end right there. And I've been like, yeah, one of the greatest horror movie franchises, period. But then they're like, let's keep it going. And this is where I was like, I don't know, because I have my collection and I'm like, I don't see Saw 4. I feel like that's an indicator I didn't like Saw 4. But
oh, you did watch it, yeah.
I did
you said
watch
that,
it. And I was like, dude, what are you talking about? Saw 4 is good. What are you jumping on? Saw 4 is solid. It's got another good story and it makes sense and everything comes together. And it's like, yeah, okay. Why are you hating on Saw 4? I think I was just like, I don't know what was going on. Anyway, so I saw it, saw 4. And it's like, yeah, and the ending is really good. Like, I always feel like they work from the ending to and backwards. Like, all right, how do we make all this work? And then I watched Saw 5. Saw 5 has Making Good in it. So, and that one is really cool because it's like the death trap for everybody. And it's like, yes, it's really good. And we got somebody trying to track down Jigsaw. And it's like, and I feel like they worked Tobin Bell in this series, at least the first 5, really well, even though they take him off the board earlier than I would expect.
I can't because I haven't watched the later ones, but I mean like when they actually like you think he's dead, I thought that was a cool way, like, wait, how's this still happening? And then you see all of the game pieces that he's put out there, and it's like, oh, okay, this I mean, again, you get a smart franchise and not like what is it? I guess the new Halloween, so basically decided, yeah, we're just gonna make this some trash.
Yeah.
Sorry. You watched them. I looked on lovesmoviefiles.com and said I'm good. Sorry, Peacock.
Yeah. That yeah.
I'm sorry. I just derailed you in the middle. Like,
no, it's perfectly fine. But so for homework for you, because these movies aren't long, which is also good. They're about 93 minutes, 90, whatever. And just go through the first 6. I'm gonna finish watching the final chapter, which is a lie because they're like, hey, these are still making money. Let's keep going.
And we just caught Saw.
Yeah, you're right. So check them out. see if you can get through them between now and next week. And come back to me. Let me know if I'm just like I needed to see some violence and gore and it was great. Or
I might have. I mean, I got most of my Saturday. I'll see what happens.
all right. Well, that's that.
Yeah.
It's that. Speaking of that, it's that magical time. Who's your nominee for Dummy of the Week?
Oh, my nominee dummy of the week is Mr. Elon Musk. With him deciding everyone gets a blue check mark, and thinking that was not going to lead to numerous. Hey, we're gonna have to suspend your account because you're saying you're LeBron James, Microsoft, or other random companies just to see what happens.
It's
So
very
people
weird
paying
that that
$8 to
didn't.
get their little parody on for today, but half the chances are that's not gonna get old at all for real celebrities and companies at all. Like so, yeah. When they all peace out and say find a new Twitter, yeah, Elon will feel a little dumb. Like, yeah, maybe it wasn't the best idea.
There's lots of things on that which is not a good idea. So, yeah. So for my nominee for Dummy of the Week, where do I want to go? Me for going on to Bing, thinking it could pop up anything without me doing extra work before I actually tap out and go to Google. Or I think my Dummy of the Week is going to be the LA Rams because they have been loving their Super Bowl hangover. They're not even on a hangover anymore. They're in a stupor in the police
They're
station.
in Thailand.
They're in a stupor in the cell, just trying to sleep it off. And they don't even know how they got there. They don't know what happened. They're waiting to get their camera back so they can figure it
How
out.
did this happen
They
again?
are so fun to watch. And the only thing that makes me upset is thinking that my dear 49ers were Jaquaski Tart interception away from this ridiculousness, this legitimacy of Matthew Stafford that I think has been erased now through this season. So bad. I mean, hey, here's
Matt
that.
Stafford still has the Super Bowl ring.
Yeah, no, that
he
that
ain't
really
tripping. He's
upsets
living in LA.
that really upsets me. I thought Eli Manning winning a Super Bowl was going to be the epitome of this quarterback doesn't deserve to have a Super Bowl instead of our quarterbacks. But I think Matthew Stafford tops it. Because at least Eli did the thing and beat Brady, so we didn't have to hear about how amazing this guy was. He went undefeated ever. He's the best thing since quarterbacks were created, even though we
But
changed
they
rules
do
for
that
him.
anyway.
Yeah. But I mean, then they would have, then there would be there'd be a lot less blowback. But now, thanks to Eli, I can still harp on all the rule changes and ridiculousness of one T Brady. But Matthew Stafford, however, gosh, he was too busy making Little Caesars pizzas, and he had one too many and messed up his elbow. And Sean McVay is driving around on his cart, hawking chunky soup. Aaron Donald's like, you know what? I thought about retiring, but I think I'd go for another Super Bowl. Von Miller was like, you know what? I'm out. I'm gonna go to another team that has a chance to win a Super Bowl, and I'm gonna play really well for them too. So, yeah.
Hey, at least he may actually retire as a Bronco, get a Hall of Fame jersey. I hope.
Will he though?
Hey, it was his first.
Yeah, it was his first. He may retire as a Bill. I'm not going in any Hall of Fame with Shot All right, well, bro, Shot. I got to catch up on Walking Dead. I've got to watch Andor. And I've got to be amazed at what madness and foolishness transpires with the second part of the Married at First Sight reunion, which is sure to be pure comedy. And
Anybody who watched that last one knows that was comedy.
yeah, Justin. Yeah. I feel like Justin could get reserved for the DOTW as well on a near permanent basis, but he's running out of time. So, and then Love is Blind, where Bartise thinks his fiance Nancy is his puppy dog. Come here, give me a kiss. Come here, good Nancy. He's the worst.
Hey,
so bad.
hey, can I offend you in every which way? Because my filter does not work.
My favorite part.
Come back from.
My favorite part was when he completely dimed out I don't even say the worst thing, but the most vulnerable, truthful thing that she said to him. And he's like, here, parents and sister, I'm going to serve this up for you guys. What do you think? This is terrible, right? And they go, it was terrible. And he's like, yeah, I don't know what happened when she was talking to my family. You're a liar. You did that. You were like carefully placing the bomb with gasoline and two big sticks of dynamite. You went, shh. I don't know what happened. It was just mess.
How long is the fuse? Okay, I got it.
Yeah, I got enough time to leave out of here. It's terrible. Absolutely terrible. He's
like, hey, did I tell you what I think about Raven?
Worst. All right, bro shot. Well, thank you as always for rolling with me. Thank you all out there for watching. This episode of Lau's Movie Files has been filed.